All right, guys, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome in. So we have a new Jets report that just surfaced from Albert Breer. First things first, though, I apologize for the lighting. Hopefully it looks okay on camera here, but Breer just dropped a pretty big report. Okay, now he's suggesting that teams that have contacted the Raiders about acquiring Davante Adams, right? The inquiring teams are becoming convinced that Davante Adams is forcing his way or trying to maneuver his way to the New York Jets. Breer also goes on to say that the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills have also been in contact with the Raiders about Davante. I think out of those three teams, look, I know I'm a Jet fan here. I know, you have the whole Rodgers connection, but out of those three teams, to me, the team that makes the most sense is the Jets. I think the threat of the New Orleans Saints is a real threat. I think Washington, if they just want to, throw an offer down and say, hey, you know what, we're actually above, we're playing better than scheduled, right? They're 3-1. Jaden Daniels looks like the rookie of the year. Granted, it's early. Right, of course it's early, but he's completing passes. He's super efficient. He's super smart taking care of the football. Terry McLaurin, they don't really have a ton of electrifying playmakers outside of McLaurin here. I could see Washington, kind of being that team lying in the weeds, and then just boom, out of nowhere, they offer a sweet draft pick or two to the Raiders. I'll say this though, I think if I was Tom Telesco and the Raiders, I'm not trading him before Sunday, right? Because, if you are Oakland or if you are Vegas, you don't want to run the risk of trading Adams to the Jets, trading him to the Commanders or the Saints or whoever, Steelers, and you see one of these big name receivers go down with an injury, and now all of a sudden that team is desperate, right? What happens if, I mean, take your pick, right? What happens if Justin Jefferson, knock on wood, right? Nobody wants this to happen, but at the end of the day, it's football. It could happen. What happens if Justin Jefferson goes down with an injury? Now all of a sudden, do the Vikings pick up the phone? Right? They run a West Coast offense. Davante Adams will come in and fit seamlessly there. Could something like that happen? Could a team out there that has an injury, right? So, for example, take the Steelers, right? If George Pickens gets hurt, now does that increase the pressure and or urgency from the Steelers organization? You know what? Let's just bump the offer up. So I have a hard time seeing Tom Telesco actually moving on from Davante Adams before this Sunday's game, but I don't think he lets it linger beyond week 6. I think we'll probably see some, this is just my guess here, we'll probably see something get done. I would assume like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in that range. Something could get done tonight. Who the hell knows? But I think at this point, the smart play for Telesco and the Raiders would be hang on to him for a couple more days. Let's field offers, see how this Sunday goes, and then we'll make our decision. It does definitely feel like Davante will be traded. It doesn't seem like a T. Higgins situation where he requested a trade and the Bengals are like, okay, whatever, you're still on the team, we're not moving you, or like a Son Reddick situation. It feels as though Adams is going to be moved. And it does. We've actually seen reports suggesting that Adams wants to get out of Vegas ASAP, which is interesting because they are 2-2 and they are competitive. They have I would say a good squad, not a great squad, but a good squad for sure. But in any case, right, if Adams winds up with the New York Jets, who really is going to be surprised? This has been talked about for, I want to say, over a year, like a year and a half, really since Rodgers has, been a Jet. So I think, God, it's got to get done. It's really crazy to think about Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, on the same squad. And then, of course, we have Lazard and Xavier Gibson and Corley. Now, acquiring Davante Adams, to me, does not change anything about the coaching staff. I still have my questions about accountability and leadership and being able to call a solid game plan, call a solid game consistently, not just one-off games or 1 or 2 games. Like, consistently do it, consistently outcoach the other team. But I will say this, I do think Davante would come in and check this box where he's a leader, he is somebody that players gravitate towards, and he's somebody to where it's like, all right, you know, he's looking at the Jets offense. God forbid we come out, we're clunking around, we're looking confused, and everybody's like, you know, jumping, committing false starts and personal fouls, and we have, you know, it's just another Denver game. Davante could say, Aaron, throw it my way. I can school any corner in football. I'm that good. And Aaron knows Davante. Davante knows Aaron. Aaron can say, I got you. And then it's just those 2 guys just putting the team on their back. So I'm not saying that we're going to see a, you know, confusing mess of a game plan and play calling every single week. I pray to God that that's not the case. But I guess with this offensive staff, you know, you can't really write anything off. But in the event, so Davante is essentially like a fail-safe, right? If things are like that, Aaron can get the play call in. Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm throwing it to Davante, right? Like, they are that good. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Despite Breer talking about the Steelers and the Bills, I still feel as though it would be, you know, I think Schefter's report from earlier this morning makes a ton of sense with the Jets, the pressure on the organization, the Aaron Rodgers, the Hackett connection, and then with the Saints, Derek Carr connection, offensive system fit with Clint Kubiak. The fact that Davante Adams would slide right in and be the X wide receiver, which would then open up doors for Shaheed downfield in the deep passing game, which he's already effective at. And then, of course, Olave over all 3 phases of the passing game, but specifically underneath. I really like that fit. And also, Kamara's going to do his thing. So, you know, financially, things are going to have to be worked out for either team, right? You're probably going to have to see a contract restructure for Davante, but we'll see. We'll see how this thing plays out. As far as trade compensation is concerned, it's looking like it's going to be a 3rd-round pick, potentially a 2nd-round pick, plus more, like plus a late-round pick or a conditional pick or something, you know, something along those lines. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I know it's late, but really wanted to get this video up. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say. Anyway, thanks so much, and as always, go Jets.